In this video, I played against by far the strongest opponent I've ever come across in my tennis career. This is Lucas, a professional tennis player who reached a career-high ATP ranking of 463, played for Mexico in the Davis Cup, and has had wins or close matches against some of the top players in the world you may have seen on TV. We are set off to face in the second round of the Washington State Open, an open-level tournament in Seattle with a prize money this year of $40,000. In my last video, I had a solid win against my first round opponent, but this time, my opponent will be on a complete different level. My opponent this time is around a UTR 12.6 and has even beaten players in the UTR 10 to 11 range without dropping a single game. And for some context, I am barely in UTR 8 and the gap between me and a UTR 10 is already pretty big. So with that being said, how will I, an amateur tennis player, do against a professional tennis player? Let's find out in this video. So I've always wondered what it will be like to play against a professional level tennis player. Of course, I am not one of those guys who thinks that they can just get a game off a professional tennis player. I think my expectations are at least semi-realistic. I actually didn't even have any expectations for this match. But you know, I've been playing tennis for quite a while. I think I'm half decent at it despite some of my YouTube comments. So I've always been curious what it would be like to play a player at that level and how I would stack up against one of these players. And in this video, I get my chance. Like I said in my previous video, part of what really motivated me to play this tournament was just the opportunity to play against a lot of players around the world, kind of like my opponent today. And my opponent today, Lucas, was actually only the 8th seed in this tournament, meaning that there were currently 7 other people with higher UTRs than him. But actually none of those players, at least not to my knowledge, had as good of a resume as he has in tennis. So like I mentioned, my opponent this time was an ex-top 500 ATP player, and he's also currently in his 20s still, so it's not like he's much older than me. So this guy is definitely far and beyond the highest rated player that I've ever played against. And while also looking at his UTR history, I also found out that I was probably the lowest rated opponent that he's ever played against. So maybe this is a learning experience for both of us. So this guy has competed at some of the highest levels of tennis, and I'm out here struggling in my local USTA 4-5 league. So let's see if I could let's see if I could even get a point off this guy. Hope you guys enjoy this match, and let's get right into it. So this match got a bit delayed. We were supposed to start around 5 p.m. but because a lot of the matches were running longer than expected, I ended up getting on the court around 7:30 to 8. And yeah, so I was just sitting around for the last like 2 to 2.5 hours just waiting to get called. Like I mentioned earlier, I was pretty excited to play against this opponent, especially after my first match. But I think the longer I waited, some of the excitement turned into anxiety and nerves. And I was nervous not because I actually thought I had a chance against this guy, but more so because I really just didn't want to get on court, not even be able to hold a rally against this guy, and just kind of make a fool out of myself in front of a crowd. But that being said, before the match, I just told myself just to go out there, have fun, try to play my best tennis, and enjoy the experience, because it's not too often I get a chance to play a player this good. Okay, so I'm throwing in some points of our warm-up footage here, because if I don't throw in a little bit extra footage here, I think the tennis content in this video might be a little bit short. I don't mean to spoil the video, but I hope no one here is actually expecting a long 3-set match between me and this guy. And to be honest, our warm-up footage was also pretty short. Like I said, I was super nervous. I was just trying to calm the nerves down the entire time, and during warm-ups, I was just missing left and right. He wasn't even hitting that hard yet, but I think the pressure was getting to me a little bit. I think because I couldn't hold a rally in the warm-up, I think Lucas just wanted to get on with the match, which actually I was okay with a short warm-up. Normally it would take me like 30 to 40 minutes to really get into the match, which is a long time, but I've already played a match earlier in the day, so I'm pretty warm already. If you guys have seen a previous video, you guys might recognize the court that we are playing on right now. It is the exact same one, which is funny and also super unlucky. I really wish I had a chance to play outdoors for this match, mostly because the outdoor courts were just a lot nicer, but also the vibes outdoors were just a lot better. The courts are right next to the water, the view is great, and you'll get to see the sunset. And there's also a bunch of locals from around the area just sitting around watching you play. About that part, I was actually okay with being indoors. tucked away in a corner where less people could see me play because I low-key didn't want people watching this match. Another reason why I wanted to play outdoors was just because I'm a lot more comfortable playing outdoors. The balls indoors typically bounce a lot faster, and it's just something I'm not really used to, being from the Bay Area where 90% of the time it's going to be sunny and you're playing outdoors. And you're throwing someone like Lucas who's going to be hitting the crap out of the ball. Let's just say it was very difficult for me to find a rhythm in this match. Before we get started into the match here, let me quickly give a shout out to Swing Vision. It is an app I've been using to record myself play tennis for the past year, and more importantly, it's been really helpful for me to improve my game. So what you see here is what the app looks like. So you can record yourself on the app, or you could import a previously recorded video. Swing Vision will do some magic processing on their end, and you'll be able to use a lot of their cool features to analyze your own game. So one of the cool features is Swing Vision is able to recognize when a point is being played, so it will just cut out a lot of the fluff in between points, which saves a lot of time if you're just scrubbing through old footage trying to find yourself playing tennis. More importantly, it could also help you filter out specific shots such as forehands, backhands, serves. You can look at those shots by themselves, and yeah, it's just really helpful for you to analyze your game, see yourself play, because let's be honest, a lot of us probably think we look pretty cool playing tennis until we see ourselves on camera, and then it's a whole different story. Swing Vision will also give you some pretty detailed stats after you play a match. You can break down your game to see what needs to be worked on the most. As you guys can see in this match that I played, the double faults were pretty high, and I also made a lot of back-end unforced errors, so you can kind of see which parts of your game need the most work. And also it has many other cool features. If you guys want to check it out yourselves, click the link in the description below. My link will get you guys a nice little discount and also a free swing stick, otherwise worth $100, that you could use as a phone holder to record your matches. So if you want to try it out, give it a shot. Link in the description below, and that's pretty much it. Anyways, that's enough stalling for me. This is the match where I played against the top 500 ATP player. Let's see how this one goes. that was the first set. So it's been a while since I've actually played this match. This was like a month and a half ago. And watching back this footage, I could safely say I kind of understand the YouTube comments a bit. And I'm just looking at myself, wondering how I'm missing all these shots. I'm missing a lot of shots long, I'm missing a lot of shots into the net, and I feel like I shouldn't be missing these balls. But just so you know, this stuff looks a lot easier than it actually was for me. And I know, yes, this guy definitely plays at a pace that I'm not really used to. I'm also trying to force things a lot more, just try to hit deeper, trying to hit harder so I don't give him a chance to just run me over. And it's leading to a lot more errors because I'm just overall really out of my comfort zone, playing at a higher pace than I'm used to. Also, part of playing at this higher pace is just having a lot less time to think. And my focus was just mostly on getting the ball back and not really coming up with a strategy to win the point. All this being said, I'm still having a lot of fun at this point in the match, despite getting my butt kicked. But I was also a bit disappointed at how I was playing. In the moment, I did feel like I was missing shots that I shouldn't be missing. I was missing a little bit too much. I was hoping to get into some longer points with him and really try to push him a little bit more in this next set, because overall, I think this is a great learning experience, and I definitely wanted to be on the court longer against this opponent. And moving into the second set, I would like to say I figured something out. I played better, but I don't know if I did. That's enough talking. I'm done talking at this point. Here is the rest of the match. So yeah, pretty much what everyone was probably expecting. All things considered, I really can't be mad at being double bageled by this opponent, but I also obviously am not happy about it. This match was definitely pretty eye-opening for me, and a loss like this is just really motivating for me to want to get better and work on a lot of other parts of my game. And hopefully, maybe in a couple of years, I'll be able to actually be a challenge to a player of this level, but I definitely have to put in the work, and I'm definitely ready to do that as soon as I heal from all my injuries. And typically when I lose a match, I always try to come up with a bunch of takeaways, such as what I learned from this match and what I need to do to improve my game, which is probably everything in this match. I definitely have my own thoughts on how I played and how I could have played better, but also I want to hear from you guys. I'm pretty curious to hear what you guys have to say about this match, and also what you guys think it takes to get to, I guess, this level of tennis. Yeah, definitely looking forward to the comments in this video. If you guys are curious how Lucas did for the rest of the tournament, in his next round, the third round, he beat a guy who was in the 10 to 11 range, 6-1, 6-0. Then in the fourth round, he beat an UTR 11.5, 6-2, 6-1. He goes into the fifth round, the round of 16, and he beat a UTR 12, 6-4, 7-5. And then he played the number 1 seed, who is an UTR 13.9. Lucas actually ended up beating him in a very tough 3 sets, 3-6, 6-3, 7-5. So yeah, essentially beating an almost UTR 14 player. He then goes on to the semifinals to play the 4th seed, who was a 13.2 UTR, and he loses to him in a pretty close match. That player ends up winning the tournament. So I would say that was a pretty good run. I'm just gonna take credit for warming him up for his actual matches. Back to the vlog, I actually participated in the mixed draw with my girlfriend, who is almost a UTR 10 in doubles, so I was hoping that she could carry me a little bit, but unfortunately our opponents didn't want the tripod to be on the court. I didn't get footage of the match. I got some warm-up clips, and our opponents were pretty darn good. They're both playing Division 1 right now. I think the girl is around the UTR 9 and the guy is around the UTR 11.5. Yeah, it was a tough match. We ended up losing 4-2. I think there were some pretty good points in there. I wish I got it on camera. And also we played indoors again for this match. So between the two of us, we played 4 matches, and actually all 4 of our matches were indoors, which is honestly really unfortunate. None of us actually got to experience the outdoor courts at the Seattle Tennis Club, which is part of the reason I came out there to this club. So a little bit unfortunate I wasn't able to play outdoors, but I guess I'll have to come back next year if they're doing this tournament again. So this is where my Washington State Open experience ends, but that wasn't the end of the trip for me. I spent the rest of the week in Seattle just exploring the city. This is my first time in Seattle, so I was just having a lot of fun, eating too much food, and also even met up with one of my friends, also named Kevin, who is another tennis YouTuber, and he's a coach out there in the PNW region. We didn't get a chance to film content this time around because I think both of our schedules were a little bit busy, but he did invite us to train at his club out in Woodinville Sports Club. So if you guys are ever around the area, feel free to go check it out. And yeah, it was a great training session. Got to meet a lot of cool people. Big shout out to Kevin and also the other coaches at Tier 1 Academy for having us. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a very intense training session. I think I actually hurt my ankle a little bit more during it. I also wish I recorded more footage outside of tennis during this trip. I think after the tournament ended for me, my content brain just turned off and I was just more focused on enjoying the trip, which was a good thing. Also, I'm not really sure how many of you guys actually stayed up to this point and actually came for the non-tennis content, but if you guys have stayed up to this point, feel free to leave a comment down below so I know, and I'll include more vlog footage and just footage outside of the matches I play, because it actually is a lot more fun for me to record and edit stuff outside of tennis, but I just want to make sure that it is what people want to see. As always, I appreciate every one of you guys for tuning in. If you guys are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you guys want to stick around with me. I have plenty of cool tennis content coming up and don't want you guys to miss it. That's all I have for this week. I'll be back very soon for more tennis content. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.